It's very difficult now to imagine this with steam trains clattering in and out and wagons clanking against one another and tons of coal being shipped out. And you stand here now and you think, did that actually happen here? I've had an idea that people really needed to appreciate more the hidden heritage in the Forest of Dean, the mining and the railways in particular. I first started my pursuit of this knowledge, should we say, when I was probably about 9 or 10 years old with a copy of H.W. Parr's Severn and Wye Railway and his accompanying copy, Great Western Railways, in the Dean. So with a book shoved in my pocket, I would traipse endless hours through the woods, following these old railway lines and finding the old mines and tunnels, as you see behind you here. And then that ignited a thirst, I guess, in me to find out more and more and more. As I got a little older, I realized an awful lot of people didn't appreciate at all. They didn't know what was hidden away in the Forest of Dean. So I set out to try to find some way to enlighten people. My first idea was very basically some physical signs at many of the key locations to give some information and perhaps a photograph of what once was there. It's very easy to pedal past here on a bicycle now and just think, oh, an old bridge. You might not even notice the old tunnel behind you. But just on down the valley was a colliery that produced up to 5,000 tonnes a week of coal in its heyday. Now, I was very fortunate along the way to meet two fantastic partners who luckily have great technical expertise in such things. And after many battles, we realized the signs idea was going nowhere, and Neil said we should do this as an app. Now, the very mention of the word app meant nothing to me at the time. After a very in-depth explanation of what we could achieve with the app, we arrived where we are today. The apps work on the satellite navigation system, so there's no need to worry about mobile phone reception, which isn't always brilliant in the Forest of Dean. And if you download the apps to your phone, you will have basically a page with a map showing all the places of interest upon it, and then some information. Now, the key thing to those places of interest is the transitional image that we have built. You will see a picture of this tunnel as it exists today, and that image will fade into an image of a very busy coal train emerging from that tunnel in the 1950s. This is part of the first app that we did, and we have now completed our third app. One was for Coleford Town, and the one that we have just completed is for Cinderford Town. I would hope one day to be able to cover the Forest of Dean in apps, so that rather like a book, you can read each separate chapter. The railway tracks were endlessly fascinating because they went somewhere. But as an 8, 9, 10-year-old, you didn't know where, so you'd set off on an adventure, and me and a couple of pals would pedal. And I remember coming home to my dad one day, and Dad saying, "Where have you been today?" And I said, "Cinderford. We found our way to Cinderford." And he used to sort of like indulge us a bit by going, "Ooh, that's a long way." I really want people to try to get that now and come to the forest or from the forest and get those senses of adventure, that you're finding out what it once was like. And it's all there, it's all still there. Say Mother Nature has softened it all, but it's all still there.